Hey sports fans, today we're going to put in a handrail on a 3-step going from a back door up into a kitchen of oak handrail. First thing I want to do is figure out the height of my handrail. So up here at the top, the handrail is going to go like that. So here's the bracket I'm going to use. This is a plaster wall. It's not drywall, so I can't use a stud finder on it. So I have to try and figure out where the studs are without putting a whole bunch of holes in this wall. The opposite side, I happen to have a kitchen. And if I look inside the kitchen cabinet, I measured the distance from the outside corner of the door jamb on the other side to this and to the screw inside that cabinet, and it was 18 inches. So I've done the same thing over here, and here's 18 inches. My piece of railing, handrail, I'm going to put it here, and then I'll line up the bracket underneath there. And here's my mark that I made where I think the stud is. So I laid out where it is that I think the face of the handrail bracket is going to go. So now I can use this space in between here to try and make sure, using a very, very small drill bit, find that stud. So this way I'll start off here in the center. So this way, if it's a little more that way or it's a little more that way, I can move without having to have a hole that I'm going to have to repair afterwards. Okay, I've drilled 3 holes. This one felt like it hit it. This one, I think, actually hit a nail head in the lath. And this one went through, and I'm pretty sure that one hit it too. So I drilled this out with an 1/8-inch drill bit, and yes, there is a stud behind there. So what I've done is taken my level, and I've drawn a plumb line here that I have. Why I'm going to need that, I'm going to end up taking it farther down here so that I can shoot it across and find the one over there using this measurement over here. I'm going to put my first hole, which is the bottom one, right here. Put a drywall screw in here instead of my finish screw because I don't want to have to keep taking this screw in and out, which I will be on this one. And if I was using the good one, I might end up chewing it all up and it wouldn't look good. I ended up lining this up, got a mark, and I pulled it out of the way. I drilled both my holes for there. I'm going to take this out, take the tape off the wall, we'll put it back in using the good screws. I can't stress enough how important it is. You got to get at least 2 of these into the stud. I got all 3 of them into the stud. But a loose handrail, people grab onto these handrails to keep their balance. And if they're falling and this is really not secure, it's going to give them a false sense of security. They're going to grab onto it, and when they start falling, the whole thing's going to come out of the wall. So it's vitally important that you get at least 2 of these screws into the stud. Now they're both on the wall. Now it's time to set the handrail. So it's time to line up the banister or the handrail. So I'm put the handrail in. There's my sliding bevel gauge. You can see I got it lined up on the bottom of that banister, and I've lined it up with the casing around the door. That's going to give me the angle I need to cut into that. So I'm going to get out my chop saw, my power chop saw, and cut that angle in it. So I did my cut, and there you can see I got it nice and tight up there. Take my piece, I'll put it on there, I'll make my marks, and I'll drill it out. I'm going to have to drill through the underside of the banister to hold the clips on that are going to hold it to the wall. So take the screw, put it on the end of your drill bit, give yourself a tape mark so you know not to drill all the way through your banister. Okay, so now that I've got this one in, I've got to do this next one down here. So what I like to do is just take your level, put it up on here, and get a plumb line, run it down, and make that your cut. You can see I haven't cut the end of this yet, but I have everything already attached because I like to get that line exactly where it's going to be. So don't be afraid to have to take these back apart and take them off to make some cuts. This is 100 grit sandpaper. You want to run sandpaper all along here, all along your edges, all the way up and down. You want a nice smooth surface. You don't want any place that anybody could get their hands caught. Alright, so here's the finished product all the way up. And as you can see, it's rock solid.